China has cemented itself, picking up on the chairman's many questions related to Iran and its relationship with China. China cemented itself as one of Iran's most reliable allies. Iran's foreign policy agenda has focused on strengthening an axis of resistance, which means support from another power is vital. Chinese oil producers have provided Iran an economic lifeline as it attempts to circumvent U.S. sanctions. They provided diplomatic cover for Iran as it accelerates its nuclear program and violates its obligations to the IAEA. And they've signed cooperation agreements that seek to bring their countries closer together economically and militarily in coming years. Failing to stand up to China will hamper our long-term efforts to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapons capability. We can all hope for that. A few questions along these lines. For starters, can you update me and my colleagues on the current status of China's purchases of Iranian crude oil?
Senator Young, I don't have those precise figures. I will get them for you. But what I can say to this issue, we have just rolled out a third set of sanctions on entities that are trafficking in these goods. We did so on August 1st. We did a previous round in July, and you will see an increasing tempo of these sanctions. But I will get you those figures.
Thank you. As it relates to those sanctions, what steps are being taken to ensure stricter compliance with those sanctions and preventing Iran from using China to circumvent pressure?
This is an issue of work between the State Department and the Treasury Department, Department of Treasury, OFAC, and it is ongoing. It is, there is quite a bit of work being done on an ongoing basis to illuminate the map and then to go after those targets.
Maybe we could get an update from OFAC or state, whomever. Could that be something you could help with, or would?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. What has the Chinese role been in negotiations toward a return to the JCPOA? Does the China-Iran relationship represent an obstacle towards the Biden administration's stated objective of a longer and stronger deal?
So I would say that it has been constructive within the bounds of the P5+1 efforts. China has been clear that it would like to see Iran and the U.S. resume compliance for compliance approach, resumption of the JCPOA. I think my concern goes as much to how China does not pressure Iran at the appropriate points when we see kinetic activity and where we see clear evidence that Iran is providing lethal aid, resources, et cetera, to proxies in the region that are extraordinarily destructive. But within the bounds of the P5+1, they have been reasonably constructive.
China and Iran, they recently announced a 25-year deal designed to deepen their strategic relationship. What's the status of this deal? Do we believe that increased cooperation between the countries poses an increased threat to American troops or American allies in the Middle East?
So the deal was the partnership, the strategic partnership arrangement was inked last year. I think many of the elements of it would necessarily not be they would not be implementable given the strictures of sanctions. But it certainly gives a direction to China's prioritization of Iran as one of 5 countries that it sees as key to its own influence in the region. There's no direct threat as such at this moment to U.S. forces, but it is definitely not good for the region.
So are they contemplating weapons co-development, intelligence sharing? Maybe you could just give me
I don't think I have that information for this setting, but I would be happy to come back to you in a classified setting to give you more of a read into that.
Okay. We'll likely take you up on that. Thank you so much, Chairman.
Senator Sheehy.